Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sally Friedman, and for 25 years I've been your regional director, but I'm more well known, infamously, as the measles man from Michigan. So 25 years fades in comparison to those 4 days. Very, very humbling, very humbling. So we had 40 days and 40 nights of rain, and Chayala pulled off another one. So we thank the real weatherman, capital W, and thank each and every one of you. We very, very much appreciate your being here and supporting loyally NCSY. It's an incredible crowd. We had no room for tent poles to accommodate all the love for the Lichtigs and for the Kleins. It's a beautiful, beautiful evening. We thank you all very much for coming and for your participation. 3 years ago, we at this event we celebrated the engagement of Chaim and Tova, Chaim Levitz and Tova, and that was 3 years ago. And tonight may be likely the last time that they're at the NCSY function, because just in a couple of days, they are making Aliyah. And this is one big farewell party for the Chaim and Tova. Are you around, Chaim and Tova? Okay. Chaim and Tova, in your new home in Eretz Yisrael, in Yerushalayim, actually. We want you to always remember us. Thank you very, very much. We know your very, very special father. Hold it up. Hold it up. Your very, very special father in his lofty place in heaven is having tremendous nachas from you, and we wish you and Tova and your family much bracha, hatzlacha, and mazel. It should all go incredibly, incredibly well. Mazel tov. And tonight is a big night for the Klein family, and long overdue, a special, special thank you to a very, very dear friend. I don't even know how many years, but I'm sure it's more than 10 years ago that Aryeh Klein became one of our heroes, saving the day every day, all the time. And he, too, just recently established a home with Eliza Bracha, and we want to wish them tremendous, tremendous bracha in their home, and want to present them, if you come forward. We got a beautiful, top-of-the-line mezuzah in a beautiful case. And want to welcome you. You should have mazel and bracha in your new home. And thank you for all that you do for NCSY for more than a decade. Big Ashikah. Okay, I want to take a moment to welcome our out-of-town guests. There's a lot of people to thank. We're not going to run through thank yous, but we have some incredible out-of-town guests. I'd like to welcome Mrs. Gilden and the Gilden family, mother of Shira Klein. Thank you so much for joining us. They couldn't make it, and we don't have a live feed, but I'm sure the Ehrlich and Lichtigs in England will see the video, and we want to welcome them and thank them, actually, for 9 years of sacrificing, of sharing their family and their grandchildren with us for 9 years here in Detroit, and we want to wish them tremendous, tremendous bracha, and they should have lots of nachas from their family. We're saying this is a in the family kind of thing, Noach Klein and the Lichtigs. So coming from around the region, all of the chapter directors from around the region are here, every single one of them. We'd like to welcome Debbie Rubinoff from Cincinnati, Michal Perlmutter from Columbus, Rabbi Menachem Tenenbaum and Dvorah Cohen from Cleveland, and from Pittsburgh, Rabbi Chaim Strassman. We even have the former chapter director of Pittsburgh, Rabbi Ari Goldberg. And when he graduated yeshiva 18 years ago, Michael Nadada became our band, and he's been traveling with us 4 times a year for 18 years. And Michael Nadada is here to honor his favorite sound man, Rabbi Noach Klein. And also from Pittsburgh, our caterer, who travels around to Shabbatons 6 times a year from Pittsburgh, Moshe and Dina. Zipsener, thank you. After 26 years, I got his name. Right. You love it. I have to give you stuff. I have to give you stuff. All right. Literally, they travel us around the region for 27 years, catering all our events. They are the biggest tzaddikim in the world, and we are forever tremendous grateful to the Zipsener family for being here with us this evening. Meyer and Bessie Eisenberg were incredible people, leaders in the community, dedicated to education, and the proof is in the pudding. Their 3 children, batting 1,000, are all leaders and leaders in Jewish education, and they have decided to do a scholarship each year in memory of their parents. And this year's recipient is a young man who last year went on TJJ, which is the Jerusalem Journey. I don't know if you know this, but NCSY is the #1 provider of teen programs to Israel. We have a menu of 20 different programs, and our main program, the Jerusalem Journey, is sort of like Birthright for teenagers in the 10th grade with 2 years of follow-up. He went on that program last year, and this year he's making an incredible move that we are so proud of and so impressed with. He is going on the NCSY Summer Kollel on the beginner track to spend an entire summer learning Torah. There's a young man who is his mentor, a friend, a peer of his, who recruited him to NCSY, has held his hand and shepherded him through this process and has inspired him. And I'd like to ask Daniel Shemayev to present this scholarship to Rafi Ivramov. This event will never be the same since the passing of Noam Ezra Carmen, and his family has dedicated a scholarship in his memory. Noam was an incredible human being. His name was Noam Ezra. He was always so pleasant and always so helpful in anything that was communal, anything that was Kedusha. He was first in line for that. And this year's recipient is a young man who literally electrified our regional Shabbaton by an inspirational message that he shared with us at the most recent Shabbaton. He told a story about how his sister came back from GIVE, the NCSY summer program that our very own Aaron Stiebel runs. She came back and she told her family that from now on, she wants to observe Shabbos. And the family, I've never, in all my years, I've never heard this, I've never experienced this, but this is how Daniel told over the story and inspired an entire convention. Mom and Dad said, if you're in, we're all in. And from that very moment, they have become a Shabbos observant family, the entire family. And receiving this year's Noam Ezra Carmen scholarship is Daniel Shemayev. Rabbi Lichtig, Chavi Lichtig, Lichtig family. Nobody ever said that Brexit was going to be easy. Just ask Theresa May. So, David Lichtig came here 9 years ago. And he came here as a rookie straight out of Kollel. This was his very, very first job. And over the last 9 years, we have become incredible, incredible friends. I would say brothers. He likes to call me Zadie. It makes him feel young. But it has been a really, really incredible 9 years. And we could have a huge lineup of parents and families and students from the last 9 years who could say testimonies and say incredible things about the Lichtigs. But to represent 9 years of students in NCSY and parents of NCSY, families of NCSY, we've asked Molly Horowitz to please say a few words of tribute to Rabbi and Mrs. Lichting.
Thank you, Rabbi Solly, for that beautiful introduction. As he said, my name's Molly Horowitz, and I live in Windsor, Canada, right across the river. I'm the fourth of 5 children in a long line of NCSY enthusiasts. And I'm about to graduate from public high school, fingers crossed, just like my 3 older brothers did before me. My family first entered the NCSY world 9 years ago. The same time, a young British couple moved from Israel to assume the position of NCSY Detroit director. Let's give a hand to the Lichtigs. My oldest brother, Daniel, had gone to public school his entire life. But by 12th grade, he knew he wanted a stronger connection to Judaism. That fall, he went on his very first NCSY event, which eventually led him towards taking a gap year in yeshiva in Israel. After Daniel left home, my brother Noah joined the NCSY world. Noah was doing great in public school. He was president of his class, student trustee on the Windsor Public School Board, and valedictorian. Even with all those responsibilities, Noah still joined Detroit Chapter Board and went on the NCSY summer program, TJJ Ambassadors. My third sibling, Aiden, also was valedictorian, but he wanted to play an even larger role in the NCSY world, joining Regional Board. Aiden wanted to make a difference in the lives of Windsor's dwindling Jewish youth. So with Rabbi Lichtig's help, he started planning monthly Windsor NCSY events. After Aiden left home, he passed the torch of running Windsor NCSY to me. And for the past 3 years, Rabbi Lichtig has helped me keep Windsor going strong. During this time, my oldest brother Daniel started studying at the Mir Yeshiva in Jerusalem. Got married and just had his first child 2 weeks ago. My brother Noah is also studying in yeshiva in Jerusalem. And for the past 3 summers, he has been a staff member on the very same NCSY program he was once a participant in. Around a year ago, Noah called Rabbi Lichtig, telling him about a raffle going on at his yeshiva. The winner would receive 2 round-trip tickets to Israel. Rabbi Lichtig promised that if he won, he would use those tickets to go to Noah's wedding. As luck would have it, Rabbi Lichtig won. And with his wife, Javi, he went to Israel and celebrated Noah's wedding with us, like family. Aiden, now living in New York, is balancing his full-time yeshiva studies and full-time college studies with being a dedicated Central East advisor. And now me. 2 years ago, I went on the life-changing NCSY summer program, TJJ Ambassadors. The next summer, I was invited to participate in NCSY's first ever Michlelet Mechina program. This is an advanced Torah learning program in Israel, specially designed for public school girls. Going on Michlelet was a huge leap for me, and I probably would have never done it if not for Rabbi Lichtig's constant support and encouragement. I wouldn't have gone so far out of my comfort zone and went on what ended up being one of the most inspiring summers of my life. So you see, without the Lichtig's guidance, my family would not be where we are today. So many other people would see my city, Windsor, as a country away, a town that was not their problem. But Rabbi Lichtig only saw an opportunity to inspire other Jews. And that's what he did. Getting and keeping the Horowitzes involved in NCSY was not an easy feat. Geography and our tendency to take on way too many commitments really gave Rabbi Lichtig a run for his money. But for anyone who knows Rabbi Lichtig, they know he can be very persistent. The Lichtigs are not only dedicated, but they are good at what they do. Rabbi Lichtig has this way of connecting with each individual NCSYer as not only their mentor, but as also their friend. Through this, he is able to give each different person what they need to succeed. Rabbi Lichtig's influence on my family is immeasurable, and my parents, siblings, and I are forever grateful. While we are sad to see him move on, we are happy for him and wish him well. I gotta hand it to Javi Lichtig. It's hard to leave everything and everyone you know behind and follow your husband across the Atlantic to Detroit. But you did it, and because of that, you have changed countless lives. In so many ways, you are an example for all of us on how to be hospitable, how to be a communal leader, and how to live a life imbued with Torah values. Your family has inspired so many NCSYers to grow, to lead, and to simply be better people. On behalf of all previous and current NCSYers, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Lichtigs for their selflessness and wish them much success back home in England. Thank you and cheerio.
Molly, that was fantastic, fantastic. So if anybody's wondering what Rabbi and Mrs. Lichtig have been doing for the last 9 years, they've been chasing the Horowitzes. They've been chasing, and they gave him a run for their money. And Larry, and I wish Dana could be here, but she has an injury in her leg and she was not able to make it. But you guys should give parenting clinics, because what you have done, 4 out of 5, we're going to get to know the 5th very, very soon. We're very much looking forward to that. But you have done an amazing, amazing job, and you should have only continued mazel and bracha. So for the last 9 years, the Lichtigs, this is what they have been doing. They have been tenacious and aggressive and passionate and incredible ambassadors for Torah and mitzvahs, and they've been everywhere they can be to find more and more kids. And like I said, Rabbi Lichtig and I have become really, really good friends. You can know how good friends are by how well they fight. And we fight really, really, really well. And it's really, I mean that somewhat in a serious way, but I'm really going to annoy him because I know he's a very, very private person. But aside from all the chasing of the kids and making a difference in a tremendous amount of kids' lives, he also has finished college, gotten his MBA, and this is where you're really going to kill me, got his black belt, and completed several Masechtos that he didn't just go through very fast, but he studied very, very, very well. He's a very serious Ben Torah. He also got himself a second, there's a special NCSY Smicha, and he got himself a 2-year rigorous study of an NCSY Smicha of all kinds of kiruv things and halacha things that come up in NCSY and Shabbatons. He's a serious, serious, committed person, and he's accomplished tremendous amount of things. And you've met Molly, and there are hundreds, literally hundreds. We keep an incredible database. He has touched he has engaged nearly 2,000 teenagers in the last 9 years and has had a profound effect on them. It would be impossible to quantify that. But we are presenting them, we are presenting them with a plaque. This is not a piece of paper or a document to hang on the wall. The plaque is a list. We couldn't list all 1,900 kids on the plaque, but we listed the over 100 students that he has mentored who have gone off to yeshiva, and over 25 of them are kids from public school who have gone to yeshiva in Israel. And that's not a plaque. That is a ticket to heaven. That is really, really a ticket to heaven. And I'd like to present, and the plaque reads, "With our deepest admiration and gratitude, we thank Chavi and Rabbi David Lichtig for 9 years of selfless dedication to the Jewish youth of Detroit and Central East region of NCSY, the graduates who have studied Torah in Israel, and the multitude of young people, too numerous to mention, you have guided are the testament to your talent and your toil. Just as you have inspired others, may Hashem reward you with much nachas from your own children."
Thank you, Molly, for your beautiful words. Good evening, everybody. Special thank you to everybody who made the effort to join us here, especially all the Central East staff from across the region. Really appreciate you making it here. So it's been a really incredible 9 years. Aside from creating such meaningful relationships with the hundreds of NCSYers since we arrived here back in 2010, it's really just been an amazing experience being a part of such a wonderful community that's really become our friends, our family, and our home. So honestly, we're really experiencing very mixed emotions right now. On the one hand, we're really excited to move closer to our families. This is something we've really missed over the past few years. And we're also obviously excited to move on to an exciting new opportunity with HUK. On the other hand, we'll be leaving behind some incredible and irreplaceable things that we're going to miss very much. Things like the world of NCSY. I've been around and I've seen some great things, but the magic of NCSY is really unparalleled anywhere else in the world. The goal of NCSY is to inspire the Jewish future, but what NCSY accomplishes really inspires me. In March 2010, when I attended my first ever Central East Regional Shabbaton, I was a guest. It was in Pittsburgh, and I was absolutely blown away. I'd never seen anything like this in my entire life. And after hearing how the NCSY leadership teams were speaking about how they felt an obligation to step up to their leadership roles for no other reason than to give back to NCSY for all the life-changing moments and experiences that NCSY had given them, I realized just how important and how transformative the teen years are and what a tremendous opportunity they represent. And 9 years later, after actually living it, it's even more gratifying than what we saw as spectators in Pittsburgh back in 2010. The magic of NCSY continues, and what we have experienced here over these past 9 years has been nothing short of awesome. And it was all really encapsulated in my recent trip to Israel, as Molly mentioned, to attend the wedding of Noah Horowitz. You already have the background, but Noah was a graduate of Kennedy High in Windsor, who after attending the NCSY Yarchikala in December of 2015, decided to take the next step. He went on NCSY summer program the following year. He went on TJJ Ambassadors. TJJ is the NCSY flagship summer program. And following that, he decided to take the next step. He's going to take a year to study in Israel. He ended up going to the Yeshiva Mevaseret, and after a great experience there, he moved on to Birkas HaTorah. This is one point that Molly left out. Noah went ahead and got engaged to his Rosh Hashiva's daughter. Thank you for leaving that out, Molly. I appreciate that. So, Chavi and I had the privilege to not only dance at Noah Horowitz's wedding, but we got to spend time with dozens of other NCSYers who were currently in Israel, like Ben Green, Molly Yarbrough, Becky Ben Ezra, Kip Glickman, Rafi Levy, and Max Kresh, to name just a few who were actually at the wedding. And of course, Noah's siblings, Molly, Aiden, and Daniel, who, as Molly mentioned, Daniel just became a father 2 weeks ago, a brand new baby girl, and he's still studying Torah in Israel. The Horowitzes, like so many others, have really become like family to us. And we're going to always look back at these years, and we're going to cherish these relationships with teens, with parents, and with the NCSY professionals that we work with. We're not just taking a plaque away with us. We're taking names, memories, connections, relationships. That's really what the plaque represents, and we're taking that back with us. So while we're moving back closer to our family, one family we're really going to miss is the Central East NCSY family. Being a part of such a special group of inspired individuals that collectively only want what's best for the teens of Central East NCSY and who are there for each other is exceptionally rare and is something that we're really going to miss. This is especially true for Rabbi Tzali Friedman, who's been my mentor, my surrogate father, maybe surrogate grandfather, and my closest friend from the moment I arrived. I'm not going to go off script like him now. He's really has always been there for me and the whole team, and I really have untold appreciation for everything he's done for me, both personally and professionally, over these past 9 years. He's really one of the main reasons why the Central East region of NCSY is so great. He has vision, he focuses on results, and he does what he does with sincerity, humility, and passion. Sally, your constant support and inspiration is really the engine that drives the tremendously successful Central East region. But it's really the entire Central East team. Noach, obviously, Chayla. My experience here has really been shaped by this incredible group of people. We're also going to be leaving behind an amazing community that we genuinely call our family. They've been here from the day we arrived, and we look forward to really continuing these relationships in the years to come. And to all the NCSYs in the room, both past and present, Jenny, Adam, Rafi, Daniel, Aviel, Avi Katz, I see you. And to all those in Israel on gap year programs right now, those going on Israel summer programs, and wherever else you may be, thank you for giving Javi and myself the opportunity to inspire the Jewish future together. Honestly, you guys are really an inspiration to us. And finally, Javi, your bravery in coming here with a 2-year-old Shira and expecting Nosson, and building our family so far away from your parents and your siblings, putting up with absurd nights, weekends, and travel, while always being the most gracious host and the mentor to countless NCSYers, and in general, just always saying yes, is above and beyond what anyone can ask for. I'm most grateful to you above all. Thank you again for joining us here tonight, and we're looking forward to staying in touch with you all.
And I just want to tell you that two of the premier Kiruv organizations in the world were chasing after Rabbi Lichtig. He is a consummate professional, and he is going to be the #2 in the HUK, and HUK is probably the gold standard for Kiruv organizations internationally. And we're very, very delighted and proud and happy for him. Okay, how do you sum this up? What are you doing over there? Get over here. Okay. Someone else could take you over. So Noach and I go back many, many, many years. And I would not exist without him. It would just not, NCSY must be cool. It must be cool. And I'm the farthest thing from cool. And he knows how to make anything look cool. He makes NCSY into the coolest thing around. He is a master at that. I started with him. He was 16 years old in the Yeshiva Gedola. And he came to NCSY's first Shabbaton. He was way too smart. He had way too much energy. He had way too much creativity and ambition. And it was just way too much to handle. But after every event, he would always come over to me and say, what could I do better? What could I do better? What could I do better? And that's before anybody wrote a book on growth mindset. That is the greatness of Noach Klein. Because in every area of life, he looks at things and how could I do it better? And how could I do it better? And how could I do it better? So he's an incredible plumber. But he's not just a plumber. He was a master plumber, I think, at the age of 21. I would call him a doctor. He's a doctor of urology and a double doctorate, of proctology for homes. He is an EMT, and you should see he comes with an entire hospital to a Shabbaton. He is not just a pilot, he's a licensed commercial pilot. He is a master at creating of sound and videos. As any of you have been to the Yeshiva Beit Yehuda dinner, it's an incredible presentation. He is the producer of the Yeshiva Beit Yehuda dinner. He makes he takes the video, he edits the video, and he runs all the lights and camera and sounds for the entire dinner. He is a master of inspiration. And it doesn't stop there. It's not just professionally, it's also very much personally. He's an incredible, incredible husband, and he's an incredible father, and he is in fact a coach and a mentor to so many different people, and sometimes successfully a marriage counselor, literally. I'm not exaggerating. He's a remarkable, remarkable individual. And for the last, I think, 15, 16 years, he has been learning Shmiras HaLashon, the laws of Lashon Hara, every single day. And for a couple months ago, he was inspired by a friend of his who started learning Mishnayos, and he learns Mishnayos every single day, and he's finished Roim, and he's on to his next Seder. He is in his davening and how to run his Shabbos table. He's somebody who studies how to do that. He learns how to prepare for a Pesach Seder. Everything he does just like he did when he was a 16-year-old. He does it, how could I do it better? How could I improve? How could I improve? And he's improving in every sense of the way. So everything that we do in NCSY is a great, great credit to him, because he is a master of creating the excitement and the energy and the inspiration, and has changed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lives, 20 years, close to 200 events, never missed a single one. And we're not saying goodbye to him, because I always tell him, when you leave, I'm going with you, because you are indispensable. We could run the Shabbaton with someone else could run the Shabbatones, but nobody can replace Noah Klein. And it is an amazing thing. And I have to tell you, when I finished 20 years in NCSY, so he went to, I can't make this stuff up, he went to my boss, to Rabbi Stephen Berg, and got authorization to use my credit card, the regional credit card, to buy my wife a gift. So I learned from the best, and somehow I got my hands on the Royal Plumbing credit card. And Shira, I have a certificate here for a vacation, and you can't take Noah with you. Jennifer would never let me get away with this. I was joking about that. I would never get away with using the NCSY, the Royal Plumbing credit card. But thank you. And for, oh yes, please. Well, stay up right here. Okay. And Noach, since you have been an incredible bracha for so many, literally thousands of Jewish teens, please come forward here. We want to give you, we know you don't want a plaque. You're not interested in a plaque. You made that very, very clear. We want to give you a bracha. And the bracha that we want to give you, put it down, it'll be fine, don't worry. Okay. We want to give you a bracha that all that you have done for Hashem's children, Hashem should bless your children. And we gave that to you on a koshel bracha, inscribed for Noach and Shira Klein for 20 incredible, incredible years. You have lots of bracha.
First, let's be frank here. It's incredibly uncomfortable to be on the wrong side of the camera. And honestly, I think we should have switched places. I think that David should have been the honoree tonight, and I should be the one going off to England. Anyways, okay. So I grew up attending Yeshiva Beth Yehuda, and I was actually coming from Yeshiva Gedola when I began NCSY. So I'm going to explain why for the past 20 years I've been consumed with this organization. Especially those of you who work with me know that sometimes I have a tendency to put the part-time things full-time and make the full-time thing part-time. So in order to do that, I'm going to introduce you to 4 people whose lives were changed because of NCSY. Chana grew up in a traditional yet non-observant home. Motivated by the learning at NCSY, she started observing Shabbos and Kashrus. She married, committed to raising her family in a Torah-observant home. Eventually, her parents undertook koshering their own kitchen, ensuring that their grandchildren will feel comfortable in their home. And there's Rachel. Her home life was a bit rocky, resulting in her moving out of her parents' house. But nurtured in NCSY, she ended up becoming one of the first NCSYers in Central East to take a gap year in Israel. There, she met a wonderful young man. They ultimately married, and today their children and grandchildren are beautiful examples of the dedication that their parents showed in their youth. Number 3. Mordechai grew up in an observant home, and he attended the local yeshiva day school. Unfortunately, issues evolved and he began to resent Judaism. In high school, Mordechai somehow ended up on a single NCSY Shabbaton. There he met a wonderful rabbi who persuaded him to spend a year in Israel. He still lives in Israel, and just last year, at the age of only 33, the guy made a siyum on Shas. Last story is Tina, a wonderful, happy young lady from a secular family who is an excellent student in a local non-denominational day school. Although her mother was a traditional Israeli, the family didn't observe much. While in NCSY, she met a boy from an observant family who, to put it mildly, was a bit jaded and had no motivation to continue his studies beyond high school. But inspired by his girlfriend and a rabbi from an Israeli yeshiva who he met on a Shabbaton, changed his plans. Tina's issue was convincing her parents to allow her to do the same. Her NCSY director spent countless hours and met frequently with her parents, who eventually consented. They both went off to Israel, and today they are married with a beautiful family. Now, many of you have come here for years, and you've heard these stories, and you know firsthand the power of NCSY. What more can I offer you with these 4 stories? So to really understand NCSY, we have to ask ourselves, who is the hero here? All of you, our supporters. You make this possible through your contributions and support. I'm sorry. Although this would not be possible without you, and we would be out of business without you, you're not the heroes. Sali is the most dedicated regional director. He took out the word quintessential, but I'll put it back in. He runs the place like a business, and he demands results, and he gets results, but he's not the hero. What about our staff, our leaders, the rabbis, the advisors, the professionals? Our region literally is known throughout the country as the standard for NCSY. There's no team like it, but they're not my heroes. After 20 years, I can say that it's the teens that inspire me. They are my heroes. The 14-year-old who starts keeping Shabbos. The 17-year-old who takes a chance and gets on a plane to Israel. The boy who holds his head high with a yarmulke and tzitzis while in a public school. And the girl who leaves her family for Shabbos so she can be within a walking distance of a shul. You see, the 4 people I told you about, they're my heroes. Now let's meet them. You see, Chana, that's Sharon Chana, my mother, who became observant in NCSY at 14. Rachel, well, that's Tammy Rachel, my mother-in-law, who Danny Butler shepherded onto a plane in the 70s. Mordechai, that's Yona Mordechai, my brother, who hated yeshiva, but ended up in Ner Jake and last year finished Shas. And Tina is Tina Stiebel, who met my brother Yosef at NCSY. He, a U of M graduate and founder of Klein Law Firm. She, a graduate of Brandeis, now teaching at Farber. And 4 are raising beautiful B'nai Torah. These are my heroes. So why did I need NCSY? Well, you see, I wouldn't be here without NCSY. Let's be honest. I'm sure many of you remember the crazy, out-of-control, wild teenager who came to NCSY for every wrong reason imaginable. But NCSY did to me what it does to so many others. It challenged me, it changed me, and it inspired me. It's no exaggeration to state that anything that I've accomplished in business, communal work, or elsewhere would not have been possible without the growth and opportunity that NCSY has empowered me with. So why have I not missed a Shabbaton in 20 years? My entire life has been shaped by NCSY. My family, my wife's family, I have 2 brothers and a sister-in-law. This is the impact of NCSY, and I've been seeing it every day for 20 years. These aren't just stories. NCSY is transforming the future. In closing, while accolades and ego gratification are nice, I must mention those who really do the heavy lifting. Unfortunately, time does not permit mentioning them all by name, but I'd like to give thanks to our current team of Nathan Krolakowski, David Margolis, Shia Margolis, Aaron Shapiro, Terrell Stewart, Yosef Sufrin, Mayor Weinberger, and of course, My brother Aryeh, who is a problem solver par excellence, when an Last year, when an NCSY bus got stuck in a ditch in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, who else is going to chain their pickup truck to the bus and pull it out? Ari has pulled us out of dozens of figurative ditches, and I personally rely on him so much. If you really only knew his true sacrifice, it would be him standing before you today. There are no words to describe his chesed and dedication to so many. Thank you. Achron Chaviv. Flushing it? On a personal level, though, my wife, of course, is my biggest hero. See, that crazy teenager just grew up. You can't imagine what it's like to put up with a crazy, out of control, and wild husband who's always busy and never timely. I literally hit the jackpot in marriage, and I stand firm that I married far better than she did. Shira, you will never know how much I appreciate your dedication to me and our children. There are simply no words to do justice to your immeasurable sacrifice. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize that my 3 minutes turned into 6 and 3. But please remember this. This is not about stories. NCSY changes lives, and it's transforming the landscape of the Jewish future. Please remember that. Thank you very much.